Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 30 of the Local to Global here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. Now, the last episode it was pretty momentous. It was a momentous occasion, and we finally got ourselves onto TV. Now, we could have gone onto TV a long time ago, but I felt like TV is always a massive risk. Now, we finally took the step up. We've also put in some different plans, and of course we've got the tournament going on, the revival of the CGC World Championship Tournament. As you can see, we've got the quarterfinals, the semi-finals in today's episode as well, and then of course we've got the final, which will be happening at Spring Stampede. Really looking forward to this pay-per-view. Now we're hopefully only going to get through the 3 shows, so the next 2 TV shows and the pay-per-view for this episode. But the one thing I wanted to mention is the finances are looking a little bit worrying. Now, obviously, running the 4 events per month, we were making a pretty decent amount of money. You know, we were on course for this month, the previous month, to actually make 1 million in a month, which is pretty huge considering. But obviously, we bought the dojo back there, and yeah, it eventuated at about 500,000, which is kind of what we were already getting up until that point. Now, things look bad at the moment. So we're only 170,000 in profit so far for this month. But as you can see, we've got a lot more worker costs that they're going to essentially, I would say, be around 300k per month now, which is a lot higher. It's about double what we paid for that last month as well. The show costs, I think the show costs are probably going to be less. And I say that because the events do cost more money than the TV shows to run. And then, of course, I'm not too sure about marketing. I'm assuming that's probably going to be about the same. Production, I think, is it's going to be a little bit more because we've got higher production value, which we needed to get onto our new broadcaster, which is OnDem, which has coverage across the entire world. Some regions are better than others, but the less said about that, the better. As you can see, the dojo cost it's rather insignificant. It's only about 15,000 at the moment. We're already halfway through. We're nearly halfway through the month, so it's probably looking about maybe 35,000 overall, I would say. And then these 2, miscellaneous and tax, they will change once we get towards the end of the month. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the first TV show. We've got 6 days to process through, and I can do some talking. Now, we're not going to purchase the actual CGC World title until just before the pay-per-view. I really need to drill it into my own mind. I need to buy the title before the event. Knowing me, and you guys know me pretty well by now, there's a chance I might not buy it. And that would be really, really disheartening. And it would basically ruin my whole storyline that I've got going on at the moment. So yeah, we gotta make sure we do that. The next thing is trying to think about who I want to potentially this might not happen, so take this with a grain of salt. But we potentially might have to let a few guys go. Now we've given out a lot of exclusive written contracts recently, so they're ironclad. So they're essentially going to get paid that much. Essentially, I think they're going to get paid the money no matter what. If we have to terminate contracts, we'll still have to pay out their contracts, if that makes sense. So they're probably not the ones that are going to be leaving. If we need to save money, we'll probably get rid of other guys that are on those pay-per-appearance deals just to potentially balance out the costs. Anyway, we've got a pay rise request, so perfect timing here from Gary Walker. And he believes he's worth 530 per appearance. I mean, he probably is, to be fair. He's working for a medium-sized company now as well. Interesting. We've got Ed Stone. Definitely a bit of a Canadian legend. Yeah, the youngest son of Dan Stone, I think. And I have to say, Ed is looking pretty good. Really solid popularity, but it's looking like it's going to be too expensive. And like I've just been saying, we don't really know if we have the money as of yet. And as you can see, the contract's already 33,000, which is actually higher than what he currently wants himself. So I'm thinking that we might have to take a miss. Now, it's unfortunate because I really would like to sign him. JD Morgan was available, but he's a non-wrestler, as you can see. Yeah, road agent there. Everything else, I think, is just relocations, so that's not a big issue. Got Corey Oostland coming through the 21CW training facility. Anyway, let's get into the TV show. Actually, one thing I would like to do potentially is knock back the TV show and try and get back, because we had it at 2.5 hours, and we really don't need a 2.5 hour show. So hopefully we can adjust that. I think we can. Yeah, we've got 1 day, so let's go into that and edit this. I'm not too sure if I want 1:30 or 2 hours. I think we'll go for 2 hours because we're doing the tournament at the moment. But I'm thinking possibly just normally we might run 1.5 hours. Maybe not. Maybe we'll stick to 2 hours. Because at the moment our pay-per-views are only 2 hours long as well. So yeah, that's an interesting one. Either way, not going to make too much of a difference, but Miller Ford. Why is Miller Ford's been signed by TCW? That's an interesting signing. I wouldn't really expect him to really do much, if I'm being honest. Got a 99 rated match there. Got the Partisans, Ernest Youngman and Mark Speed. I'm assuming that is a stable. Yeah, it's a stable. Kind of an interesting stable, but there you go. And Supreme TV, I mean, they definitely had better matches. It's kind of sad to see both Rocky and Sammy over in SWF. How old's Mainstream Hernandez? He's definitely one I would like to pick up if we could. I mean, potentially, I know he's not exactly, he doesn't play babyface well, but he could be a pretty decent figurehead if we could get his popularity up. When does his contract run out? Never mind. Okay. Anyway, let's get into our show. Enough playing around or messing around with everything else around the world, around the Seaverse. Alright, backstage incident. We got Blue Dragon improving the locker room, setting up a waffle bar. And we've got Goldstein passing on some more tips of psychology to Robin Newman. Perfect. Our resident jobber, Robin Newman. For this one, I think we want to go with maybe... Let's go with Sinner and Ray Cavallero as well. Come on, boys. Still nothing. That one's been there for a while. For this show, I think we'll go to... let's go to Mississauga. Yeah, nice. Alright. So, our matches are going to be like this. What's our main event going to be? I think in the last episode I said it was going to be Diaz versus Goldstein. So I think I'll make that our main event. And Diaz was really, really impressive in that last episode. Had a very, very solid... I think it was a 76 rated match. Who did he verse? I can't even remember. I guess the real question is, who do I want to win this one? I think we'll go with that decision there. I think it just kind of makes the most sense, unfortunately. And we want Edmonton, and we want RM Stones. Because it's obviously our main event, so we want our best referee, best road agent pair there as well. The next match, I think, is Davis and Giant Brody. This one could main event. I think it's going to be very, very close. 77 popularity there for Davis as well. I think I'll give this one 20. I think Giant Brody can go for 20. I know I just exited out, but there we go. Yeah, I think that... Yeah, he's got like 70 stamina. Yeah, 71. That's perfect. And looks like we're kind of gearing up for a Goldstein-Davis semi-final, I think. I'm not too sure how the other tournament's going to work. I think these two will face each other, if I'm not mistaken. So the winner of the Davis-Brody match will take on the winner of Diaz-Goldstein. And I'm thinking Jordan Chandler will take on the winner of Gorman and Mobster. So it could be pretty interesting for sure. So I guess that next match is Jackpot versus Eddie Chandler. So we'll get that one booked in as well. Where is he? Eddie. How is he? 47 years old. That's pretty insane. I think we'll keep it at 10 minutes for him. And I think, yeah, he's going to pick up the victory. I really want a former, CGC world champion to be involved at least a little bit further into the competition. So he is indeed going to get a nice win in that match, despite his ripe old age. And then finally, we are indeed going to have Graham Gorman taking on Mobster. Do I want to make this one 20 minutes as well? I think I do. I think I really do. I mean, it is kind of a showcase of our best quarterfinal matches. They're, are our champion and Mighty Kavanaugh. They're essentially our best wrestlers as well that we've got in the company at the moment. So, it does make sense. It really does. And I want this to be a tainted victory. Yeah. I didn't actually set a winner. But there we go. That's going to be our winner. So that's going to go there. I think I might put this one there as well. Just to swap those two around. We're also going to have a 4-on-4. So just a big multi-man tag match. Not really too sure what we're going to do with it. I hadn't really put too much thought into it, but I think we might go for Gilmore, and he can lead a team to take on Mighty Kavanaugh's crew. The crew, if you will. That is their proper stable name. So let's go Gilmore. Maybe DC Rain. Doc Hammond. Let's go for like a really experienced high-level team. John Greed in there as well. That's a team. That is a team and a half. And they're going to take on Kavanaugh. And he's going to be teamed up with... we haven't actually made them a proper tag team yet. But Papa Swole, Public Enemy. And I guess we could maybe throw Porkchop Patterson in there. But he doesn't really fit in. That's kind of the only problem. I mean, Leo Caddy LeBlanc kind of fits in, but I don't really want to put him in the match. Just trying to think. We could try and run another separate storyline here as well. I'm just trying to think of who would... I guess Uterus Sono would make the most sense. And we can maybe have Kavanaugh be in an angle with Deanna Desire and Uterus Sono. That actually makes sense. So we'll book it that way. And I think, as far as the victor goes, I was thinking maybe John Greed, but I think Doc Hammond... Actually, let's go John Greed. I'm only going to give it to John Greed because he does actually have a year contract. Whereas I think Doc Hammond is only a month, isn't it? I might be mistaken. Either way, it doesn't exactly matter too much. It's going to be decisive. I am going to make the loser Sono. Yeah, because that's going to lead to another match on the next show. Or maybe the pay-per-view. Yeah, maybe the pay-per-view. Anyway. That's all good, I think. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. That's going to go in between the two, each of the two sets of quarterfinal matches. I think that's pretty good, actually. Let's go angles. So Goldstein's going to have an angle by himself, non-scripted before the main event. We also need a storytelling match, which will be the 4-on-4. It's kind of a easy storytelling match. It's going to be a whole lot of chaos. No pun intended with the stable name there. Then I think we want to go maybe a Mobstar angle as well. Maybe Mobstar onto Graham Gorman before their match. So they're both essentially going to be standing in the ring together. And Mobstar is going to talk some absolute trash, Graham Gorman. But obviously it does backfire, and Graham is going to cheat to get the victory. I think we'll make the opening match a work the crowd. We could maybe give Jackpot an angle, though. I don't know. Part of me thinks that would make the most sense to give him an actual angle, but we are going to give Davis an angle here. So I want to do maybe fighting. Yeah, I'm going to go Giant Brody. And I'm going to give him a fighting angle. So he's going to attack Davis Wayne Newton. So let me actually write this one in. So we'll have Davis Wayne Newton cuts a promo onto Brody. Brody responds and attacks. Yeah, it's simple, but I guess it's going to be effective. There we go. All right, so that's enough time. I do essentially have an extra promo that we could use somewhere. I guess before this match kind of makes the most sense. And I did say that I wanted to do one, so let's do that. Monton has way too much to do. So let's change this one to Robinson. And I guess we're going to have to change one of the matches. Let's change this opening match to Robinson as well. And I guess Robinson will have to do this angle as well. So it's going to be with Mighty Kavanaugh, Deanna Desire. And of course, like I said, Yuta Usono. I think we'll just make it these two. I don't think Yuta actually needs to speak. And basically, yeah, it's going to be Mighty Kavanaugh approaches Deanna Desire, asking for Yuta Usono's help for tonight's match. Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. And again, apologies for my super loud keyboard. But I do like that. I do like that. So I don't think any of them are in storylines. Oh, Mighty Kavanaugh doesn't want to work with a script. Not the end of the world, but that's a little bit frustrating. I don't like it when people don't give me the options that I want to do, and they say that type of stuff. What are his actual entertainment stats? They're really good. Okay, he's kind of got a point. He's got a point. I'll agree with him. Then finally, let's do a cheeky little 6-man tag pre-show. Let's go Jack Pride, Stephen Parker, and Zeusy Boy. And they can take on the team of... Yeah, actually, let's go with this. Let's give this a little try. So it's going to be Zombie Boy teaming up with his future stablemates in Original Sinner and Wicked Lester. Unfortunately, they're going to lose, but that's perfectly fine. And I think I want to give Stephen Parker the win in this one as well. I kind of just hope that Zombie Boy doesn't take the pinfall in this one. That'd be pretty frustrating. Or Also need to make it on the pre-show. All right, there we go. Let's run it. We start off with a 53 rated pre-show match. We have Primetime Jack Pride, Stephen Parker, and Zeus Maximilian defeating Zombie Boy and Doomsday Generation in 11:36, when Stephen Parker pinned Original Sinner with a Future Shock. Good stuff. Zeusy Boy with a 69, Stephen with a 61, Jack Pride with a 43, and Zombie Boy with a 51. So it's not too bad. He does have cooled momentum, so we do need to boost that up a little bit. But that's not too bad. That's really not too bad. All right. We then actually start the show off with our first quarterfinal, getting a 64 rating here. And we do have former two-time world champion Eddie Chandler defeating Jackpot Jordan in 10:23 by submission with a fabulous stretch. Of course, match getting the show off to a strong start. It is our first quarterfinal of the night. And we also have Eddie getting better at his gimmick as well. So all in all, a pretty positive start. That's not too bad. All right, we then go into our first angle of the show, getting us a 73 rating here. And of course, we have Davis Wayne Newton cutting a promo onto Giant Brody. And then, of course, Giant Brody is he's an absolute man beast. And he comes out, not going to take those fighting words standing still. And just runs out and attacks Davis prior to their match. And Davis came across well, obviously enjoying the freedom off script. Probably should have scripted him. But we also have Giant Brody getting better at his gimmick as well. So that's another positive there. Their match does really well. I thought this one might have been contender for obviously the main event. Purely for the fact that, Davis is the GOAT. But a 75, it's very, very solid. Especially with a relatively new face in Giant Brody as well. And we do have Davis Wayne Newton finding himself in the semi-final, defeating Giant Brody in 20 minutes, 29 seconds by submission with an STF. And a solid 89 in-ring performance from the GOAT. I mean, that's why he is the GOAT. Anyway. We advance into a 69 rated angle where we have Mighty Kavanaugh approaching Deanna Desire, asking for Uterus Sono's help for tonight's match. She agrees. Basically, he doesn't say anything in the angle, but he nods his head and basically gives confirmation to his manager and girlfriend in Deanna. Mighty Kavanaugh improvising well, and Deanna also enjoying having the freedom to go off script. So it actually paid off. So I'm happy about that. All right, their 8-man tag getting a 67. So it's relatively good considering this team has I would say a lot of inexperience, and this one, and I guess Mighty Kavanaugh, the other 5 workers, all have decent experience as well. But we do have the current world champion Angry Gilmore, DC Rain, Doc Hammond, and John Greed, team of experience, defeating Mighty Kavanaugh, Papa Swole, Public Enemy, and Uterus Sono in 10:26, when John Greed pinned Uterus Sono with a crash diet, and Kavanaugh unfortunately seemed off his game, so a little bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Alright, we then go into a 72 rated angle from Mobstar. This is only Mobstar rated on Entertainment. And basically cutting a promo in the ring prior to the bell sounding for his match against Graham Gorman. Quarterfinal match. And Mobstar also working the crowd well, using the freedom to improvise to his advantage. Good stuff. That's another solid angle. Their match is also, relatively solid as well, getting a 71 rating here. We do have Graham Gorman defeating Mobstar in 1931 by pinfall while using the ropes for leverage. So Graham cheating to win, cheating his way into the semi-final, and getting a pretty big victory over, a fairly hot Mobstar at the moment. Just a really good match from both of them, to be fair. We had a 74 from Mobstar and a 69 from Graham. So it's a very, very solid quarterfinal there with similar in-ring performance. All right, that's a little unfortunate. We get a 68 rating for Aussie Goldstein's promo. As you can see, he was very poor trying to improvise, unscripted dialogue. So that's a bit of a hit. It's going to let the show down a little bit, but I think overall, I think the rest of our angles have been pretty good. Solid, well, similar ratings in the high 60s, and then we had a couple of 70s in there as well. Just hoping that this match is going to be the best match on the card, being our main event. I'm expecting big things from Diaz, Goldstein. Come on, boys. Okay, I mean, it's not the best match on the card. I definitely underestimated how good the GOAT actually is. It's still really good. We get a 71 rated main event. We do have Aussie Goldstein defeating James Diaz, 20 minutes 11 seconds by pinfall with a golden shower. Very, very, actually super similar to that last quarterfinal match between Mobstar and Gorman. 74 for Goldstein and a 70 for Diaz there as well. And they got the exact same match rating. So, we've definitely got some real talent on our hands. So I'm super happy with that. But again, I think Diaz... Actually, I was going to say something negative about Diaz, but I shouldn't really say anything negative about him at all. Because he is a main event player at the moment. I guess it's almost like I have to have Davis in every main event because he's almost guaranteed to smack it out of the park, basically. Anyway, finish the show. We get a 72 rating, increasing our popularity in 56 regions there, of course. Gotta love Ondem. Getting that popularity increase across every region. It doesn't actually seem like we gained any popularity, which is interesting. Of course, with the 4 events per month, we're essentially gaining 3 points of popularity in every region in a month. And it looks like that might slow down to at least 1 point of popularity per month, which is, it's perfectly fine. Anyway, we get 391,000 viewers for that show. That TV show, which is very good. Take a cheeky little look at Championship Wrestling from CWA. I mean, basically, it's just their women. Their women are so over, it is ridiculous. We've got Brooke Tyler defeating Lauren Easter, obviously 2 of the most talented women in the game. Getting an 89 rated match. Was the second best on the card, actually. Because we have Amber Allen defeating Deborah Young in a 91. Insane. And of course, their main event was actually relatively bad. It was a World Tag Team title match that was basically dwarfed by both of those women's matches. So, yeah, interesting from them. Having a little look at Marvel Malloy here. Oh man, I would have loved to have signed the Cobras to exclusive written contracts. That would have been perfect. Anyway, doesn't matter too much. I mean, some of these guys are starting to get like bad morale issues. I think let me have a look at Leo Caddy. I think we're gonna get rid of him. Yeah, I'm just gonna fire him. Yeah, I mean, Taylor's gonna be happy, Americana's gonna be happy. But the reason for that is I really just don't think he's ever gonna become anything. I think there's just way too much work that's gonna be involved, and we have to essentially be giving him a match every single pre-show with the risk of basically running into him injuring people, and I don't really want that because this is going to cause more backstage issues. We're only down to 3 negative relationships there, so 3 instead of 5 is always a little bit better. Anyway, here's our semifinals. It is going to that is a main event, continuing the rivalry between Davis Wayne Newton and Aussie Goldstein. And then we've got essentially the 2 newcomers. Obviously, Graham's got an exclusive written contract, and Eddie Chandler does not. So I guess in a way there's kind of spoilers there, but I guess you guys probably knew I wasn't going to put the CGC belt, world title belt, onto a 47-year-old, basically. There was kind of no chance that was going to happen. Either way, it's going to be a good semi-final, even with those spoilers. And I'm really not too sure who I make the CGC World Champion. I'm really not too sure. You know, part of me obviously thinks that Davis probably deserves it the most, but at the same time, I mean, Aussie Goldstein is... I mean, he's probably just behind Davis in terms of ability. So, it's going to be a hard decision. It is going to be quite hard. Anyway, I'm going to take a sip of water here. Alright, as a plane flies over, we are still advancing. And this is essentially our first ever go-home show as well. But obviously, not exactly... Well, it is storyline focused in some aspects. Obviously, we've got the Angry Gilmore, Mighty Kavanaugh storyline going at the moment. I think at the pay-per-view, we might do a tag team match between Angry Gilmore and a partner of his choosing. And they'll take on Kavanaugh and Papa Swole. I think that's kind of a good way to bring that storyline together. Obviously, there's some negative chemistry between Kavanaugh and Gilmore. So, if we do a rematch, we potentially might have to make it a triple threat or a fatal four-way, something along those lines. Because I would like to try and finish that storyline off somehow. Ooh, Mikey Lao. Ooh. How much? Whoa! Okay, we won't be going for Mikey Lao. 362,000 estimated cost. 20,000 per show. I mean, you look at his popularity, you look at his skills. Understandable. 92 star quality there as well. And obviously the popularity is the main reason as to why he is so expensive. Interesting that Oli is rumored to be interested. Obviously, he won't even negotiate with us. So that's pretty funny. That's a lot of offers, though. That is a lot of offers. We've got WLW. We've got Oli. We've got Pride Glory. CWA, that's not good for us. EILL, so south of the border, essentially. Burning Hammer as well. And TCW. And then, of course, SWF putting in an extension offer there as well. That's pretty insane. That is pretty insane. I do love Mikey Lao. Obviously, he was a former CZCW. I think I had him. When did he leave? Yeah, 2015. I remember having him on 2013 because I had a really good before I actually started making YouTube videos on TEW. I had a really good 2013 CZCW save that I played. Did a lot of really cool stuff with that. I think my top 2 stars were Bret Heartbreak and Maddie Faith. Just to give you some context as to how long the series actually went itself. Because obviously in that time, neither of those two guys had debuted as of yet. Anyway, once again, we're going to go for Diaz and Zeus, and still no effect. Still no effect. For this one, I think we'll go to Hamilton. Hamilton, Ontario. Good to see the economy and the wrestling industry are both rising as well. So once hopefully once the wrestling industry goes up a bit higher, these TV shows will have a bit more, I guess, a higher level of popularity increase per show. Or at least that's what I hope for. Anyway, the main event goes without a shadow of a doubt. Going to be the GOAT taking on Goldstein. So Davis, I think, what's his popularity now? Has it gone up even higher? No, it's still 77. Taking on the 60 rated or 60 popularity Goldstein there. I just exited out. I always do that. I don't know why. For some reason in my head I always think that it's already saved. What am I doing? Goldstein. Of course I've got the negative chemistry. But that's... it's not gonna, you know, be a real bearing on how the match is gonna go. And I think for... not only for storyline purposes, but I think we have to go with a specific winner in this one. Not even storyline, just overall company prowess, you know, with us trying to progress higher and be more prestigious. We essentially have to go with that winner in that main event. So the next match is going to be Chandler taking on Gorman. This one's going to have an expected winner. Let's just say an expected winner. And of course, we can only go for about 10 minutes, can't we? Oh, I was going to go 20, but we definitely can't do that. So there we go. And the winner of the match is going to be the newest signing, Gorman. Obviously, there was already a bit of spoiler to this one as well. But it is going to be decisive. Wondering if we could put Mobstar onto color commentary. Does Mobstar have any color skill? He does not. Okay, never mind. All right. So with that said, we've got a little bit of room to do some storyline work. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a #1 contenders match for the tag titles. And we are going to have Doomsday Generation taking on... who do we want to go with? Maybe Young and Wasted? Let's go Young and Wasted. We'll give it 12 minutes, so I want to give it a little bit of time, a little bit of extra time on TV. And we are indeed going to have Wicked Lester picking up the win. Might be wondering, what's happening there? But it is going to be a tainted win. And there is going to be some interference onto... I think Taylor. I'm actually going to make Taylor the loser here. And the interference is going to be by Zombie Boy. And we have the formation of our new stable. So yeah, I think I just want to make the loser Taylor there as well. That'll set it up a little bit nicer. That's going to be an interesting match there. I think we'll make that storytelling as well. Because, you know, there's a story in there. #1 contenders match. And obviously the formation of the stable itself. The only problem with that stable is we still don't really have a mouthpiece because Zombie Boy can't really speak on the microphone. Yeah. It's a bit of a problem. I guess maybe I could do Overness, where he doesn't really speak too much, maybe? I don't know. It's going to be a weird one. We'll just, we'll kind of roll with it, I guess. Anyway, up next, I think we'll go... Let's go a tag team match. Let's go Angry Gilmore. And I think he's going to team up with... Do I want to go Doc? I think I'll go Doc. And they're going to take on Papa Swole and Public Enemy. So that should be a decent little tag team match there. I think we'll give Doc Hammond the victory. I know, obviously, Gilmore probably should be the one to win. But if Doc's going to be here... How long is he actually here for? Oh, we actually gave him a whole year contract. Okay. That actually makes a little bit more sense then. It's kind of perfect. And yeah, we'll go one more match. Yeah, I think we'll do this one. Let's go John Greed taking on Yuta Osono. It's going to be a bit of a rematch. And I think we'll give that one 10 minutes as well. And we're actually going to give Yuta Osono the victory here. So he took the pinfall loss in the 8-man tag. But he's going to get a bit of revenge. It's going to be tainted though. And there is going to be a distraction onto Greed by, you guessed it, Deanna Desire. Of course, the manager for Osono. So that's pretty perfect. I think we'll have a... I was going to say, yeah, we'll probably just go for John Greed, really. I mean, it kind of makes sense. I think let's have John Greed. It's not going to be a promo. It's going to be like a backstage run-in with Deanna Desire prior to the match. in which they're both going to be cutting an angle or using their entertainment skills. So John Greed runs into Deanna Desire backstage. And we'll just say argument ensues. Yeah, I guess it kind of works. I don't know. We'll roll with it. Yep, I mean that kind of looks pretty good. Then I think we'll just go Angry Gilmore and Doc. Because obviously, you know, he would essentially need to talk to him. I don't really know why I just put success on. Not exactly very necessary, but there we go. So that's going to go there. We obviously need a Davis angle for the main event. We'll just go him by himself. I think we'll script him as well. We may as well. Just to, you know, make sure. Just to make sure. I think I want to swap these two matches over. So I want Doomsday Generation up there. And we'll have the other angle down here. Yeah, that definitely works out a little bit better. Because I want to put another cheeky little angle for Doomsday Generation after that match. And it's obviously going to be the formation of our new stable, which I'll grab the name of here. I did mention in the last episode, the Forces of Darkness with Zombie Boy. So let's put Zombie Boy first. And then we'll go Original Sinner. Which he probably won't even be able to be in the angle. But we'll do it for storyline purposes anyway. So I'm going to go Overness. The other two aren't going to be rated. Actually, I'm wondering if Overness... I'm going to go Entertainment. I'm wondering if I should maybe go Lester as well on Entertainment. Let's go all three rated. It's a bit of a risk, but yeah. Alright, so let's say Zombie Boy establishes his new stable, Forces of Darkness. Simple, effective, and it's about damn time. So we'll also add them all together in an actual storyline. I'll book the segment, and then we'll come back and add it. Not too sure. I guess they can maybe face Brothers for Life. So what I might do is just modify this storyline. And we'll just change the name to Forces of Darkness are here. Brothers for Life equals victims. I don't know. That's kind of a weird way to put it, but I guess Brothers for Life are going to be their first victim. Forces are here. I mean, I should probably say Forces of Darkness are here. Okay, never mind. We won't do that because I have no characters left. But there we go. Forces are here. Brothers for Life equal victims. So we're going to remove Osono. And then simply add Zombie Boy. And add Original Sinner. They're in the other storyline, aren't they? I guess for now we'll just we'll leave it like that because of course we have the that is a #1 contenders match. So realistically they are going to get yeah, he's been used far too much. If I drop that down, will it change anything? Probably not. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. I'm going to overuse him. Pretty much have to. And I kind of want to. Just purely for storyline purposes only. That's the only reason why. But we also need another match. So, I think we're just going to start off with a random 6-man tag, to be honest. Let's go for Not a Team. And I guess they can take on Los Hermanos. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, there we go. And I guess, who will partner? Maybe Stephen Parker? I mean, Steven kind of makes a bit of sense. Maybe Giant Brody. I kind of feel like Giant Brody would be a decent bodyguard for Jack Pride. Maybe Jackpot Jordan. We'll go Jackpot Jordan. Jackpot Jordan and Jack Pride. Obviously, they have, you know, fairly similar names, but I mean, it could be decent. Could be decent. Anyway, Diaz going to pick up the victory there, just to make sure his momentum stays red hot. And I think for that one as well, we'll make that the work the crowd match, just to, you know, to kick things off with a bit of a bang. And I think that actually looks pretty good. So we'll add a quick little tag pre-show, probably with Feel Good Inc. They can take on Jay Silver and maybe Cortland Bartlett. No, let's go Charlie Corner. Yeah, I mean, Charlie kind of deserves a match. For some reason, I really don't rate him. I don't know why. He's actually quite good, so I probably should use him more. Anyway, there we go. Pre-show. Done and dusted. Let's run it. Alright, so we start off with a 54 rated pre-show match. We have Feel Good Inc. defeating Jay Silver and Charlie Corner in 11:32 when Gary Walker pinned Jay Silver with a lip service. And as you'd expect, Gary Walker head and shoulders above everybody else. Jay Silver, the weak link. Gary Walker with a 65 in-ring performance. 65. Okay, Gary. Okay. Anyway, we then kick off the show with a 60 rated 6-man tag match. We do have Jackpot Jordan and Not a Team defeating Brothers for Life in 12:19 when James Diaz pinned Louise Frost with an Asian thumb spike. And yeah, Louise Frost was really off his game, so it's unfortunate, but I have to say that's a pretty solid opening match. Diaz with a 65, so he was the best performer. And then we had a 59 there from Jackpot. Again, Marco's still doing really well with a nice solid 51 as well. So he's kind of the forgotten man, but he's still pulling in, I would say, consistent, you know, performances for a guy his age. You know, solid mid-card performance. All right, we then go into a 55 rated angle. We have John Greed running into Deanna Desire backstage. And of course, an argument ensues. And of course, Deanna essentially starts an argument with John Greed here. Basically, as my chair squeaks, basically for John Greed beating Yujiro Sono on the last TV show last week. And of course, they do have a rematch. And that rematch gets a 58 rating. And we do have Yujiro Sono defeating John Greed in 10:21 by pinfall after using a foreign object. And during the match, we also had Deanna Desire. It says distract Greed, but for the storyline purposes, let's say Deanna distracted the referee, and then Yujiro Sono hit John Greed over the head with a steel chair, laying him out. And yeah, Deanna stops distracting, and he gets the 1-2-3 painted victory. Like I said, he's kind of a heel at the moment, Sono, but will eventually. Well, he is naturally a heel, so I guess it kind of fits his the persona we're going with at the moment. But I would like to kind of have him be a face for a little while, at least, you know, in these episode terms. Because obviously, if we do a heel-face divide, he will be a heel, so that goes without saying. But I would like to book him as a face, at least for a little while. We're kind of also booking Diaz as a face as well, kind of. I would say he's more of a tweener. He's sort of in between. But he's also a natural heel, so there we go. Alright, our next match, the number 1 contenders match for the Coalition Tag titles. We get a 59 rated match. I have to say is pretty decent coming out of Doomsday Generation here. And we do indeed have Doomsday Generation defeating Young and Wasted 10:07. We had Wicked Lester pinning Taylor Norton with a flying elbow drop following interference from Zombie Boy. And of course, Original Sin of the Weak Link. Once again, really off his game, so typical fashion. He actually got a 28 though, with being really off his game. So he might be doing a little bit better. Their tag experience is actually getting pretty high. I think I'll take a look at that once we go back to the main screen. But yeah, new #1 contenders, Doomsday Generation. Probably didn't expect that to happen in this episode, so there we go. And then we actually get a 48 rated angle here with the formation of the Forces of Darkness stable, with Zombie Boy coming out as the leader. And of course, Doomsday Generation looking a little bit more dangerous with a leader, and kind of standing in front of them. And of course, I guess Wicked Lesser's not exactly a big guy, but I guess in regards to Zombie Boy, he looks a little bit bigger. Let's just say that. As you can see, Original Sinner, very underwhelming. So he's still letting things down, even in angles. Maybe it's best we don't rate him on Menace anymore. Perfectly fine though. 48's, it's not too bad, but especially for these guys. So we'll take it. Zombie Boy's entertainment stats, pretty dreadful. They're 40. 40 microphone, like 42 acting or something like that. So it is what it is. We then move into our first semi-final match, getting a 57. Not the best performance in the world, but we do have Gorman defeating former two-time champion Eddie Chandler in 10:25 by pinfall with a Gorman aghast. A nice 68 in-ring there for Graham. So, Gorman, new signing on debut in this tournament, and he finds himself in the final, potentially win the newly revived CGC World Title, World Championship, as we've called it in the tournament. We then go into a 90 rated, essentially a tag team angle, where we have Angry Gilmore trying to get on the same page as Doc Hammond, of course. Both absolute veterans to the upper echelon of companies in the US. Obviously, Gilmore with SWF, Doc Hammond with TCW. But yeah, Gilmore was fantastic. Doc Hammond was very underwhelming, and Gilmore enjoyed going off script, as you'd expect. So that's still pretty solid. Their tag team match getting a 68 rating, where we have Angry Gilmore and Doc Hammond defeating Papa Swole and Public Enemy in 9:38, when Doc Hammond pinned Public Enemy with a Texas Cloverleaf. We've got Angry Gilmore with a 70, so that's decent. 63 for Doc, and he's also getting better at his gimmick as well. That's another positive. All right, we then go into an 84 rated angle from the GOAT himself, scripted as well. I did script this one. He's getting better and better, which is crazy to think. I mean, if his popularity was still increasing, it doesn't really seem to be increasing at the moment. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't probably take too long for us to get into like 90 popularity, really, if we were still doing monthly events. Hopefully we'll get a nice little rub for being in a solid main event at the pay-per-view, because obviously the final of this tournament is going to be the main event. And he's also in tonight's main event as well. So here we go. It's pretty good. We get a 75 rated match between Davis Wayne Newton, and he defeats Ozzy Goldstein in 2029 by submission with an STF. Of course, we already know they have negative chemistry, so they don't seem to click, made for an awkward bout. We knew that was going to happen. It's still a really good match, getting a 75. The worker chemistry. I was also penalized due to low heat in the storyline, which I find pretty interesting as well. But there we go. Anything else? Yeah, lack of heat. Okay. Still got a 75 though, and we actually get a 76 overall show rating, which I think is our best ever TV show, if I'm not mistaken. I think it definitely is. Anyway, increasing our popularity across all the other regions as well, with our on-dam broadcaster. Beautiful coverage. Be nice to actually see the other regions, their popularity to start, seeing some improvement. Because at the moment, I think it's still just the spillover from our Ontario popularity. All right, who's Leaf LeBomb? I've never seen this guy before. Okay. Actually looks pretty solid. He's definitely a high flyer. Yeah, not too bad. I mean, it looks like he's going to be renegotiated with anyway. So that's perfectly fine, but yeah, I don't think we'll go in. I don't think we really should go in for anybody else at the moment as well. You got Jumbo Jackson, but definitely don't want to go in for him. 36 stamina for him as well. Alright, so Aussie Goldstein thinks Public Enemy can't sell anything worth a damn. Kid needs to learn how to work. Pretty harsh, but there we go. And we actually got 410,000 viewers on that last TV show, the Go Home Show. So that's pretty cool. Definitely gone up quite a lot. We've also got Storm Spillane here. Also on an exclusive written contract. Hence why we can't actually get the American Cobras. As we looked at Marvel earlier in the episode. Alright, let's have a quick look at the size. So, actually, I think we've gone up. Did we go up popularity? Yeah, we did. We went up 1 pop in Ontario. And I think Saskatchewan as well. I think we were 32, weren't we? Yeah, 32, 44, 45. So Manitoba and Quebec are still the same. Which is, you know, it's fine. That's fine. And we've got 2 days, Spring Stampede, and of course we have the final of the tournament. So what I'm going to do right now, before I even advance, you thought I was going to forget. I know you guys, you thought I was going to forget. I haven't forgotten. And we are going to purchase a classic title belt, the CGC World title. We're going to purchase that, $35,000, 69 prestige. There we go, it's been added as an inactive title. Actually, no, it's been added as a... Has it? Hold on. Unretire, there we go. Okay. There we go. Week 1 of October 2015. I don't think that vacancy began in 2015 when we had a champion in 2017, so I guess that's a bit of a bug there. But that's perfectly fine. Alright, so here we go. Let's get into it. It's going to be the last show of the episode, obviously being the pay-per-view. Spring Stampede. I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. And we're going to crown a new champion with a new title. Well, it's actually not a new title, as you guys know. And of course, the winner of this match is going to be taken on Angry Gilmore at the next pay-per-view. And going to have a title unification match. CGC World title and the CWC World title will come together. And yeah, it's going to be pretty good. We're finally going to get a title belt for our own company. That means something. So I think that's really beneficial. And basically what we're going to do with this, you know, we're going to merge or unify the world titles. And then we're also going to purchase the CGC Canadian title. And we're going to bring that in, rename it, rebrand it as well. And yeah, basically that's going to run as our single mid-card, you know, title for the other mid-carders in our company. That was the sort of the game plan behind doing this. And I think that'll probably also, actually, we might make that a main event on a TV show. Probably won't do too well, but I think we're going to throw it out there. We're going to throw it out there and see what happens. Anyway, we are going to go on to Wrestle World. Might be a bit of a mistake, and I can't believe it's happened. Graham Gorman is still working All Canada Pro Wrestling. He signed an exclusive written contract with us, but because they're a higher rated company in the game, he is going to be wrestling for them. Also our road agent, Ed Monton. I mean, that just upsets me, really. That just upsets me. Anyway, we'll do something. We'll do something to fix the problem there. Anyway, once again, I'm gonna go for Diaz and I'm gonna go for Zeus. I just really want to get rid of this negative relationship they have. We're expecting 27,500. That is insane. We're going to be running in Toronto. I was going to say Ontario, obviously. All right, the real question is, what are we going to do? All right, this is what we're going to do. He doesn't really have the stamina for it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit stumped right now, trying to think about what we're gonna do. In my head, I have an idea, but I wanted to put Kavanaugh in the match. You know what? We're still gonna go for it. All right, so it's gonna be Kavanaugh taking on Davis. 20 minutes for the CGC world title. Unfortunately, Robinson's going to have to be the road agent tonight. Pretty obvious who's going to win the match, so there we go. Don't really have to worry about that too much. We are going to have a decisive victory as well. Really? That's really annoying. Okay, never mind. We're not going to do that match. I'm going to change it up. We're going to do something else. We're going to do this instead, which I think is going to be equally as good. Probably, it's not going to be better, but it's going to be decent. It's going to be decent. There we go. Two friends, they absolutely love each other. Going to be taking on each other for arguably the most prestigious title this company has ever seen. And obviously, we'll do something interesting here at the beginning of the show as well. So what we'll do, we're going to have Alexander Robinson. He's going to come out and address the crowd. Going to address the crowd. We'll script him. And we're going to say, Alexander Robinson announces Gorman's suspension. So he's going to be suspended for, I guess we can suspend him for a month, really. I'm purely going to suspend him just for the fact that he chose. I know it's in the game. I know it's coded into the game for it to happen. It just pisses me off. It really does. So we're going to, kayfabe suspend him. And then he's going to announce a Battle Royale. For #1 contendership for the main event. There we go. I guess in theory I could probably put a few other people in the angle. Yeah, do I need to? Probably not. Let's just leave it. All right. So then in the actual battle royale itself, it's going to be 10-man. Nothing too crazy. Essentially just going to be like our top 10 competitors. Do I want to make it like a over the top rope, or do I want to make it a mayhem with pinfalls and submissions? I think I want to go mayhem, like pinfalls and submissions being the elimination. So what we're going to do is we're going to go with essentially our top guys. So basically most of the guys that were actually in the tournament. So let's add in DC Rain. He's got the popularity. Doc Hammond, of course, can go in there as well. Eddie Chandler, that obviously makes a lot of sense. We'll put Giant Brody in there. Don't really want him to lose, but it's going to make a little bit of sense. Mobstar's going to go in there as well. Diaz, we're up to 6. Who else? Do I want to go Goldstein? Don't think I want to go Goldstein. Maybe I do. Who else have we got? Obviously Zeus has to be in there. So there's Zeus. We'll go Stephen Parker. I think we'll go Zombie Boy as well, because he's obviously going to need something to do on the show. Actually, I think we'll go Zombie Boy in a singles match. instead. Actually, we'll put him against Taylor Norton, I think. That'd be pretty decent. So let's go Goldstein, and then we need one more person. Not going to be a Sono, not going to be... where is he? John Greed either. Already got Mobstar. I guess, yeah, Jackpot. Yeah. I mean, that's easy. Thing is, I wanted to go for 20 minutes, but he's only got 60 stamina. Zeus does. So Zeus is going to be absolutely shattered for that main event. I feel like it would almost make more sense for me to go for someone like Mobstar or Diaz. Or even Doc Hammond. I think he has like 70. Yeah, he's got 75 stamina himself. I really want to do the two friends battling it out. I'm gonna go for it. We'll see what happens. It might backfire, you know. It could happen. I think everybody in this match can call, so we don't really need to worry about that either. It's actually decent. Alright, so I think we'll do, obviously the winner is gonna be Zeus. Gonna be a big night for Zeus, really. The runner-up is going to be Goldstein. Finalist is going to be James Diaz. And then we're also going to go a finalist for Brody. And then, of course, Brody's going to have the most eliminations as well. So there we go. Let's say that looks pretty good. Hopefully no one's going to complain. Perfect. All right. That kind of solves a problem. Kind of solves a problem. Could maybe bump it back to 16, but I mean, it's not going to really make a difference. I don't think. Anyway, let's do our other matches. I think I actually want to go. Let's go like a special match for our tag team titles. Let's go. Maybe tables. First blood. Let's go first blood. It's going to be First Blood, Doomsday Generation, taking on the Rock City Stars. 12 minutes for this one as well. Coalition tag titles on the line. Unfortunately, they're going to be unsuccessful, but you guys probably realize that. A little bit too soon to be giving them anything too special. There we go. Obviously, the guitars are going to come into play with those guys. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to hold I was going to say a 6-man, but I might do 2 fatal 4-way matches to determine the 2 #1 contenders for the Canadian title, which I guess we're going to announce right now at this show. Maybe we'll do one here, and then we'll do one on the next TV show as well. So we're going to have Jack Pride in this one. I guess he can go at it with... Wondering Blue Dragon or... Yeah, we'll go Americana in there. Well, he's already in there. Perfect. I don't think I want Gonzalez in this one. Maybe Papa Swole. I mean, Zombie Boy. Yeah, Zombie Boy is going to go straight in there. And then I guess we'll go with either Charlie Corner. Let's go Public Enemy. Actually, yeah. I'm so indecisive. This whole pay-per-view, I had it almost planned out in my head, and now it's just kind of fallen apart. Anyway, Zombie Boy is going to pick up the victory here. We'll make that the storytelling match as well. So he's going to become one of the 2 #1 contenders. So that can go... The Battle Royale needs to go right at the start of the show. So that'll go there. We've got the John Greed Uterus Sono rematch. Let's do that one. Can go, I think, yeah, he's got decent stamina, yeah. 71 for Greed. He lost a lot of popularity, or has he gained? I feel like he's about the same. He's actually up a little bit in a few regions. Yeah, it's not too bad, not too bad. I was going to make John Greed the winner to make it like 1-1 in regards to singles matches. So let's do that. We'll make it 1-1. John Greed actually getting the pay-per-view victory, which I guess kind of means a little bit more. It's also going to be decisive. Actually, will I make it decisive? I don't think I will. I'm going to make it tainted. John Greed's he's gonna cheat himself to get the pinfall victory there. And I might actually make this a 20-minute match as well. I think we'll definitely have the time. So let's bump that up to 20. This one's gonna run fairly early on the show. Maybe after that match there, we need to make Art Reed Road Agent a few of these matches, or is it? Yeah, RM. Oh, okay. So Dace can do that one. I think Dace can also do this one. Well, not really too fussed about the tag titles. All right, I think everything looks pretty good there. We might go one more match. I was wondering who else haven't we used? I was going to do Taylor Norton. That's right. I was going to do Taylor against Zombie Boy, but that's not gonna happen. Interesting. I think we'll go Mighty Kavanaugh and Angry Gilmore. I guess this is essentially gonna finish their storyline, I guess. I don't know. I won't do this. I won't do that. I just don't like the look of it. I'm gonna do a handicap match instead. And basically it's gonna be 1v2, and it is gonna be Gilmore taking on Papa Swole, and yeah, all right. We're gonna change a few things. Papa Swole and Public Enemy, because that's gonna continue that whole storyline. Yeah, I mean that should all be fine, I guess. Essentially, I'm hoping just the psychology from Gilmore's gonna rub off onto Swole and Public Enemy. What's our issue there? Is it Road Agent? Yes. I want to keep that one as Robinson's. So we need to change something else. That's already Art Reed. This one needs to be Art Reed as well. I mean, we also need to change Public Enemy. So I guess essentially we could just go for maybe Zippy. Actually, let's go Bowden Snoop. Yeah, Bowden Snoop. There we go. Okay, that looks a lot better. This match itself needs to go maybe second. Yeah, I think that works pretty well. Okay. Yeah, I like that show. We don't have too much time for angles, but we already have one up there, so that's fine. I do want to have a Davis angle prior to the main event. Prefer Robinson, but see what happens with that. Okay, so that's going to go there. Then after the main event, I want to have a war of words between Davis and Angry Gilmore. I'll try and script both, but maybe Gilmore won't go for that. That of course is going to advance this storyline here, which we've been going with for quite some time. So I'll check that after. Hopefully this will be sorted out once we add another angle. And I want to add an angle for... We're actually going to be using Gilmore a hell of a lot this show. I'm going to have Mighty Kavanaugh cutting an angle onto Gilmore. I guess... Will he be on screen? No, he'll be off screen. It'll just be Kavanaugh by himself. So that'll be Art Reed. It's going to be too much for Robinson there. Unfortunate, but that'll go before that match as well. So I guess I'm going to have to change one of these. Art Reed's obviously doing that first angle, so I'll have to change this one to Art Reed as well. Okay, there we go. We could fit one more angle in. Maybe something here for John Greed. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We might actually be able to do it, depending on the whole road agent situation, so we'll see. We'll see. Can we do it? We can actually do it. Perfect. I'll unscript him as well. We'll see what John can do. Okay. That looks really good. Let's add a cheeky little. I don't think we need it. Let's just run the show. All right, so we start off with a 53 rated angle, not the best angle in the world, but as you can see, my character, the owner of the coalition itself, Alexander Robinson, comes down, announces Graham Gorman's suspension for wrestling for an opposition company. He's going to explain it. He's wrestled for the opposition company. Even mentions their name, ACPW. Gorman is under a exclusive written contract. He says this to the crowd. So as things stand, Graham Gorman has been stripped of his place in the final tonight. He's been stripped as a #1 contender. And he's essentially gone from hero, winning every match in his career in the coalition so far, back down to 0 in the pecking order. Suspended for a whole month. He will return at the next pay-per-view. And in his place, announces a battle royale for the #1 contendership for the second spot in that final. And of course, the whole battle royale consists of guys that were actually in the tournament, to begin with as well. That match does really well, the battle royale, getting a 74 rating here. We have Zeus Maximilian winning a 10-man Mayhem Battle Royale in 1939, with the other members of the Final Four being Goldstein, Brody, and Diaz. Of course, Aussie Goldstein being the final elimination, the runner-up. And then, of course, we also had Giant Brody get the most eliminations over the course of the match. So he looked pretty strong. We've got a few people getting better at the gimmick, both Eddie Chandler and Mobster. But of course, this will be, or at least I think it will be, Eddie Chandler's. No, he could have one more match. We might have a little send-off match, potentially, for Eddie Chandler. Actually, let's do a title defense for the winner of the main event here tonight on the next show. That could be the main event. That would, it can only be 10 minutes. I think I'm going to do it anyway. We're going to do a 10-minute title match in the main event. Anyway, enough about that. Let's move on. That'll be next episode. We get a 76 rated angle. We have Mighty Kavanaugh. And again, he's talking some more trash about Angry Gilmore. And of course, he's in a handicap match up against the other two members of the crew. Mighty Kavanaugh's crew. Of course, that match is up next. Doesn't do too bad, getting a 62 rating for our handicap match here. We do have Angry Gilmore defeating Papa Swole and Public Enemy in a handicap match in 9:41. But Angry Gilmore did pin Public Enemy with a sky-high elbow. Of course, that experience that Gilmore has, of course, being the current world champion as well, he's used that to essentially beat two really solid, young up-and-comers in Swollen Enemy. So, Swollen Enemy, that could be their tag team name. Just thought of that right there. Anyway, as you'd expect, carrying the match, once again getting a 70 in-ring performance for Angry Gilmore. Solid enough, I'm happy with that. Alright, we then go into a 63 rated angle from John Greed. I think I'm going to go with an interesting storyline, possibly a future stable for John Greed. And I'll explain that in the future, but clearly enjoying having the freedom to go off script here and performing well. And of course, he is booked on to pass the Torch contract, which is why we're sort of having him take on Yuta Sono, essentially. Because, spoilers, but Sono's probably going to go over in the end. But so far so good. I kind of like this storyline. It wasn't what I planned before starting the recording. And I'm enjoying it. I think you guys are too. Hopefully. Anyway, their match, unfortunately, doesn't do too well. We only get a 57 here. Obvious reasons down there, but we do have John Greed defeating Yuta Sono in 1956 by pinfall while using the ropes for leverage. So, Yuta cheated to win on the Go Home show. John Greed cheating to win. He's a heel himself. He really doesn't care. He sees the younger guy cheating. John Greed's going to cheat right back. It's pretty simple. You want to cheat, he's going to cheat back. And he's got that experience on his side. But unfortunately, Yuta Sono really off his game. So, that one definitely affected this match overall. I mean, even John Greed got penalized for inconsistency there. So, it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Still, it's an okay match. It's okay. John Greed also doesn't have, impressive popularity. Well, so it's about the same as a Sono, really. All right, we then move on to a bit of a bad match, but I mean, I would say they're all kind of lower mid-carders, maybe apart from Zombie Boy. Definitely for Americana and Bowden Snoop. But we get a 41 here from most of our lower mid-carders. But we do have Zombie Boy defeating Primetime Jack Pride, Americana, and Bowden Snoop in 11:53, when Zombie Boy pinned Bowden Snoop with a flying double stomp. So a double foot stomp there. Very impressive finisher. Didn't really expect that to be his finisher. Anyway, unfortunately, Bowden Snoop was really off his game as well. So that's, it's unfortunate. It's going to drag an already, bad match just that little bit further down. Just unfortunate. Anyway, one half of the number one contenders, Zombie Boy. Of course, like I said, the next episode will have the second Fatal 4-Way to determine his opponent. The newly created. Well, it's not going to be newly created. It's going to be revived, essentially. So there we go. Anyway, next match. Go straight into the Coalition Tag Team title match, getting a 58 rating there. We do have the Rock City Stars defeating Doomsday Generation in a First Blood match in 12-13, when Rock and Ryan Turner made Wicked Lester bleed, pulled out the guitar, cracked him over the head, bang, Wicked Lester, that white head of Lester, white bald head, split open, and of course the Rock City Stars getting the victory, making defense number 3 of the CWC Coalition Tag Team titles. Actually a pretty solid match from Doomsday Generation. Original Sinner, in particular, getting a 36 in-ring performance. Where did that come from? Anyway, nice 44 there for Lester as well. So they're starting to come up a little bit. I'm sure the victory over Young and Wasted really helped their popularity out. Hopefully this match will do some good as well. Anyway, we then move on to the pre-main event angle, getting us an 80 rating from Davis. And he basically says that, I'm the GOAT of the coalition. Instead of having a bear as the logo, it should be a picture of my face with some goat horns on top. And, he's kind of just joking around. But then he also, gets a little bit serious and says that, he's a 2-time CWC World Champion. And tonight he's going to make history by becoming a CGC World Champion as well. And he's the one that kind of says, they're bringing the title back, but I want to hold both of the belts. I want to unify both of these belts together and truly become the best, the best in Canada, really. The match isn't that great. It's still really good, getting us a 74 there. But I was hoping for a little bit more. But it's okay. Anyway, we have Davis Wayne Newton defeating Zeus Maximilian in 1957 by submission with an STF. Davis Wayne Newton wins the CGC World title. The GOAT wins. getting a 90 in-ring performance. Incredible. Unfortunately, Zeus only getting a 68. He actually performed better in the Battle Royale. Let's have a look at the dirt sheet here. The negatives. So yeah, he got dinged for stamina. He also got penalized for declining physical ability, which is obvious. Once again, it got penalized for low heat, a lack of heat from associated storyline, which I don't really understand. I don't really understand. I would have thought the storyline would be a little bit hotter, or at least it would be normal, not getting a sort of penalty from it. I don't know. Anyway, I might be wrong, but I didn't expect it to be low. And of course, we have one more angle. We get an 85 rated angle here, where we have the confrontation between the current CWC World Champion, Angry Gilmore, and the newly crowned CGC World Champion in Davis Wayne Newton. 85 is a pretty good way to end the show. I was hoping for a little bit higher, maybe a 90 or above. But the performance of Angry Gilmore was good. It was scripted, so that's worth mentioning. Probably the reason why it was only an 85. But still really good. Still really solid. And that's a nice little way, or a nice angle, to actually end our pay-per-view. Alright, so we get a 75 overall rating there, increasing our popularity in 18 regions, which is all the regions in Canada and the US as well. So, very good to see. Very good to see. As far as who's upset, I have absolutely no idea. Not even one idea at all. I think what I'm going to do... Out and Snoop will probably have some. I think Americana might have some as well. And I don't really know who else. Let's go for Jack Pride. Purely for the fact that he might have some morale issues. I want to get rid of them if there is any. Anyway, let's advance one day, because the other big thing that I wanted to look at is the profit, or possibly lack thereof, of profit. Now, obviously, with 27,000 or 27,500 people, oh really? Oh man, Mikey Lao agrees deal with CWA. It is going to be hard to beat CWA, although that's an expensive contract. $460,000 per month. That's literally almost the amount of money we made last month for the whole company. That's expensive, man. That's real big. Real big. Anyway, Spring Stampede only shown in front of 192,000 viewers. A little bit low. Obviously, much lower than what we would get if it was on Dem. But there we go. Like I said, we want to try and get... We wanted to try and get a pay-per-view carrier once WrestleWorld finished. I guess what we could maybe do is get a 6-month contract with Ondem, which might, see us through to getting the 35 popularity needed in Alberta, because we're already there for Saskatchewan. We're only 1 point away. But good to see that Manitoba and Quebec did indeed go up to an extra point. Yeah, unfortunately, Alberta only won at 1 point that month. So, it's kind of unfortunate. But anyway. Okay, so yeah, let's advance one day. Please be good. I'll be super happy with 300,000. I would be super, super happy. Anything above that would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But 300 is kind of like that's where we kind of need to be. To start, or to keep progressing. Keep progressing. Alright, what do we got here? So yeah, we got 1 month left for WrestleWorld. Robert Oxford, who's a road agent. Very good road agent, must be said, but we're not going to try and compete with TCW at the moment. Okay. Interestingly enough, we actually made about 430,000. That's really good. That is really, really good. I'm happy with that. As you can see, the ticket sales were considerably less, but the broadcast revenue did clock up a lot with OnDem. So that's really good. That's where a lot of the balancing out has come from. Sponsors is obviously up a little bit higher as well. Merchandise was pretty low though. I wonder why that is. Yeah, that's interesting. It might have something to do with events and TV shows. Possibly TV shows would sell less merchandise as opposed to a monthly event. That's kind of the only way I'm, justifying that being lower in my head. Obviously, the workers, I said it was going to be double. It's actually not that bad. It's only 277,000. And I'm not sure if that counts the bonuses. That might be miscellaneous. I'm not 100. Let's have a look. You can click it and have a look. Yeah, that doesn't look like it. So let me click on workers. Yeah, so okay, bonuses. Signing bonus, there we go. So 30,000. Okay, so it's essentially going to be cheaper. It's going to be less. Because there was 30,000 in signing bonuses. Obviously, the bonuses and perks are for pay-per-views, events. Obviously, that's going to be lower because we're doing less events. So people won't be getting as much bonus as they normally would. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Super happy with that. Anyway, that is going to wrap up the episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, I know you've already done it probably, but if you haven't, smash the like button. I do appreciate it. It really does. It makes me happy just seeing the likes. Most of these have been getting like 19 likes. If we can hit 20 on this video, that would be incredible. It's been a pretty special one. Take a quick look here. Davis Wayne Newton, the new CGC World Champion. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Of course, we recently hit 1.5k, and I just want to say thank you for that. Really do appreciate it. And yeah, apart from that, as always, take it easy. I hope to see you in the next episode. Goodbye, guys.